Viewers, we're getting you shots live from the streets of Kyiv where no other channel's gone. Republic is reporting live from the war zone. These are shots that are coming in of the emergency, urgent situation that is there in Kyiv, where there is military there, some press personnel present there. And as we continue reporting, we've also just told you how Beijing has been in talks with Moscow. I also want to tell viewers, as we are saying this, there is a post from something that's coming in from Kyiv, this particular post. There are shots from shelter homes in Kyiv and other shots coming in of the action and the activity that is taking place as Ukrainian civilians are preparing for war. The urgent situation very evident, the palpable anxiety in the air very palpable, and we can see shots that are coming in from Kyiv Post also where Ukrainian civilians preparing for war. There is a sense of urgency there. We can see some military personnel also present there. So I want to also tell our viewers that all this action is happening and all these developments are happening at a time when Beijing has spoken to Moscow. We also want to tell you that this happens in the backdrop of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And as all these developments happen, we report live from 6 cities in the war zone. Viewers, this is the latest video that we are getting from Kyiv, where they're preparing for war. It's evident that sanctions need not and seem not to have worked against Russia, that continues in its endeavor and asks for a regime change in Ukraine. They say we want independence for Ukrainians. However, we are now being told that talks have been held between Beijing and talks with Moscow. This is also happening when Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary asks commanders to ensure operational readiness of all platforms, weapon systems and assets. Viewers, this is also happening when there are Indians who are being evacuated from Poland and Belarus. All efforts are being made to ensure that Indians are not stranded in Kyiv or in Ukraine. As we can see, Ukraine prepares for war. Today, a short while ago, we spoke to citizens from Kyiv who said they want global help. They are currently in bunkers. We've shown you visuals also, viewers, through the day where we've shown you children and women sitting in the bunkers. Civilian life has stopped. Martial law has been imposed in Ukraine. And the latest information we got is that the president, Volodymyr Zelensky, has been taken to bunkers as Russian troops have entered Kyiv. Now, let me also go across to Ankit, who's been giving us updates and the latest developments that are happening in Ukraine. Ankit, what is the latest information that you've gathered?
Rhythm, there is something extraordinary happening. Essentially, what Ukraine is doing is it's asking all civilians, including European as well as Ukrainian civilians, to pick up arms. According to the Ukraine government, 18,000 assault rifles and corresponding ammunition loaded has also been distributed to citizens of Kyiv. We heard just a short while back a Ukrainian government official. He was informing his people about how there is fighting taking place within 10 kilometers from the city center. He asked the citizens to stay at home and get ready for Molotov cocktails. So this is an attempt where Ukraine is preparing its citizens for perhaps battles on the streets when the Russian forces enter the cities. We've seen actually since yesterday, since the invasion began, Rhythm, that Ukraine has been asking citizens to help join in the fight. And accordingly, here we see in these visuals a truck loaded with ammunition and presumptively weaponry and other assorted supplies that is being emptied and then being distributed to people who appear to be civilians. Because as you can see, they aren't wearing military fatigues or any kind of military uniform. They most certainly seem to be dressed in civilian clothing. And so this is Ukraine's attempt to muster its civilian population to battle back the Russians who are invading. And so that is currently where we are. Last thing, Rhythm, before I give it back to you, the Ukraine government has been putting out these releases where it is asking its media to emphasize to the people of Ukraine how their military is fighting back the Russians and to not let them think that they're going to cede their territory undefended. So this is what we are seeing there, a manifestation of the civilians joining in, Rhythm.
Live from 6 cities in the war zone as we report about the Russian missiles hitting the military sites. Live from Kharkiv, live from Poltava as the entire town is now being evacuated. The visuals on the screen speak their own story as Ukrainian tanks were being mobilized. Beijing spoke to Moscow and the message that they comes is that Moscow is ready for talks with Ukraine. But why is it that the Chinese spokesperson has to put this out? All this is happening, as we've been telling you, that India has ensured that its citizens, its people are going to be brought back. Highways were blocked due to evacuation in Boryspil. We're also being told that all this happening as Ukrainian missiles launched have also taken position. So all this latest information, viewers, coming in as we're also showing you Ukrainian civilization preparing for war. Russian forces have taken control at certain places. Some places have been evacuated. We have the largest team reporting from the war zone, where we've got you the latest information, whether it's they weathered the dangerous terrain out there, viewers. The situation the entire day has been given, and the reporting continues from there. I also want to say Russian missiles have hit military sites in Kharkiv, like we told you a short while ago. India is ensuring its people are brought back. Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary has also asked commanders to ensure operational readiness on all platforms, weapon systems and assets. Now, Ukrainian tanks were being mobilized today. Ukrainians paid tribute to their war heroes also at certain places like Rublivka.